When you want your spring break to feel like... and your kids' pool day to feel like... and your hotel bed to feel like... ooh, and room service to feel like... because at Hilton, hospitality feels like...
Your cabana's ready. Would you like fresh towels?
it matters where you stay. Book now at Hilton.com. Hilton, for the stay.
Picture this. A curve in the road. A change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso. Introducing Virtuo Up, the latest in a long line of innovation from Nespresso. It's innovation you can touch, sense, and taste in every single cup. With a 3-second start, easy open lever, and dedicated brew over ice button, it's even easier to enjoy your coffee your way. Sip for yourself. Shop Virtuo Up exclusively at Nespresso.com.
Hello everyone and welcome to How Is the Podcast. It's Gav. We're in the Hilton Garden Inn after Sunderland have lost 1-0 to Brighton in the Premier League. Unfortunately, another defeat, third on the bounce, I think, at home, which makes us all very, very sad. We've got a couple of new contributors with us today. First up, we've got Ben Littledyke. Hello, mate.
Hiya, Gav. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad, mate.
Shame not to make a debut on a more positive note, but here we are. At least the sun's shining.
Yes, come in, Catherine. Come on. We've also got Catherine with us, who's Ben's sister. Hello.
Hiya, Gav, you all right?
Yes, you were telling us before we hit record you're a bit drunk, so I think this could be a good podcast.
We'll see.
You probably had to be to enjoy the game, I think.
And Sam's with us. Hello, mate.
This will be a barrel of laughs, won't it?
You haven't got your register Brist top on, which is a problem, I think. You took it off after we got beat against Liverpool, didn't you? Swinging it around your head.
Smart. It's a Tuborg sky blue top. It's quite smart, though. I want to give him that.
I know, but
Probably have ruined it a bit for me.
The point was, is Sam he refused to take that top off, didn't you? Until we got beat.
Just on a match day. I didn't get
Yeah. Well, that's what you say.
Not one of those any occasion types.
So the game, guys, I mean, yeah, we're all a bit flat on one, unfortunately. Sunderland today, I think there was plenty of endeavour there. We tried, but it was just the quality wasn't there, Sam. I think we look like a team with a lot of injuries, but I don't want to use that as an excuse because I still think if we'd been switched on today, we would have scored a goal. Like I would have took a point by the end of it, and just at times it was just frustrating as hell to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah. Someone, when I was in the queue earlier, said that was a 0-0 game and we still lost it. Do you know what I mean? And I'm biased because he's probably my favourite player, but we look like a side without Enzo Lafayette today. We did. Like, no matter where he's playing, left wing, in the middle, where he pops up, would look like people on the ball were looking for him and he just wasn't there. And he's a big player to replace.
Yeah.
And I'm jumping ahead already, but next week, if he's out, he's massive, isn't he?
I think the crack pre-match was he might be all right for the derby, so fingers crossed that's the case.
I didn't want to be the first one to bring up next week, but especially with Ballard going off as well, it's obviously not looking great.
Yeah.
But I will agree with Sam there. When I saw that Lafay was not in the starting 11 or even the squad, it didn't look great. We have struggled to create at times. And obviously we had Jacques Diarra and Siddiqui in midfield, all great players. But I think when we've had the four on the pitch together, we've looked decent, but it's hard. It hasn't happened enough this season. It's through no one's fault, but we just need to try and work out how we can get around that.
Yeah. How are you feeling, Catherine? Are you a little bit gutted or what? Come on.
It's just disappointing, isn't it? Like, I live in London, so I've come up for the weekend to watch it, and just, yeah, you make the effort to come up and everything, and it's a defeat. But, positive for next week. Fingers crossed, we'll see.
Mind on that. I mean, you talk about fans and stuff. Again, by the way, I'm going to bring it up because we did it after the Fulham game, Sam. 83 minutes, the ground's emptying.
Yeah.
What's that all about? I'm honest, I'm pig sick of it. Yeah, we're getting beat. But what is this about it where it's like this till the end thing has just gone out the window now and people have decided Well, I best get out of there.
In the concourse as well at half time. I was just getting some food, and there was someone behind us on about Enzo Lefebvre, and they're like, "Oh, he's out for 6 weeks." And I was like, "Where have you heard that?" They're, "Oh, just whatever." And I was like, "No, I think it's only a week." And someone's like, "Oh, is it N'Golo, the winger?" And they're like, "Oh, he's shite." And you're like, "Well, he's not."
It's not really
Yeah.
needed. It's not good. It's not helping anything,
Yeah.
especially when it's not even true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's-
I don't
it's-
know. I struggle with it. It's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Fulham was different though because talking about the
We'll
atmosphere.
definitely 3-1 against.
And also it's just Sunday, and I know it shouldn't matter, but it does today. Saturday at 3:00. It just, even during the game when we're on top, and I like seeing the players get the crowd involved, but it felt like they were actually asking us to get involved today. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just celebrating a tackle or something. And Sadiq Diarra's doing it, and it's it's hard when you start so well and then tail off a little bit. But just remember where we used to be, and thinking about being at Wembley in May. If someone had said, "Oh, we're going to get beat 1-0 off Brighton, but we're going to be safe," you'd be like, "Well, it sounds like a good day out."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What I will say is Brighton are probably one of the worst oppositions you could have in this situation because they're competent, but they're not an exciting team to play against. It's no disrespect to them as a club, but they're not a team that's going to get everyone really up for it. We're not the underdogs as such, but they're still a very strong Premier League side with established players. And I think that really worked against us today because there was an expectation level from the fans that we would be controlling the game, which is maybe a bit unfair. And unfortunately, Brighton, they did do a job on us, I would say.
Yeah, and I think that was to be expected as well. I mean, when we spoke to Kieran Maguire on the pod through the week, he basically said it's going to be 1-0 either way. And I said that to my mates during the game. I went, it just feels like a 1-0 game. And the goal, I mean, I don't know if you have seen it back properly or not. Someone did show us on the phone in the ground a really good angle from the touchline, effectively. And it's not a shot; it's a cross. And
Was it a deflection?
no, it goes straight in. But there's almost so Angulo, not Angulo. Sorry, I've got him in my head. I don't know why. Yeah, poor Angolo's getting excited.
You can't do anything right.
Who was it? Minter. Sorry,
Yeah.
Minter gets the ball, and to me it feels like a cross, but there's a man between him and the goalkeeper, and that is all it takes to allow the opportunity for the ball to go past Elborg. I'm not blaming Elborg at all.
Was he going for the cross elbow, doing it?
Elborg's kind of just standing up waiting for the ball to come in, but because there's a man between him and the ball, it deceives him and it goes in. You'll see it happens very quick as well.
I've seen it, but someone was on the deck when this was going on.
Yara, yeah. I mean, there was nothing in it clearly because obviously VAR would have looked at it and said, "Nah, there was no in that." There was only Ballard appealed for it as well. Yeah. I'm watching it back, and Ballard was the only one who ran after the referee. And I turned to my mate and I was like, "Well, there's one player appealing for it."
A lot when the Sunderland players aren't even really reacting. He
also realised he wasn't getting anything and jumped up and ran off, which I hate. I absolutely hate.
I agree, and I mean, on to Diarra. I don't like to dig players out, but I thought he had an absolute stinker. I wish he hadn't have, because I like him. But there's people around me in the ground now saying when's it going to click for him? And I'm like, I'm dead patient, so I'm like, give him time. Today though, everything, I don't think he done a thing right. No, he didn't do a thing right, and I feel good for players when that's the case, Ben. But it's like with Diarra, he costs a lot of money, and people are expecting to see him click into gear eventually.
Yeah, I was thinking spot on, Gav. There's a lot of mitigating circumstances with him. He's come in and he's had that injury early on in his career when he was doing really well before that. He came back and I think he played one game Brighton away, and then he was away for the African Cup, and he came back and he's had a few decent spells. Obviously that Burnley game, the first half, he was brilliant. I was at Port Vale last week though, and he didn't really shine against a bottom of League One team, which is a little bit concerning. Yeah, I do think there's definitely a good player in there, and hopefully, this is just a rough patch and he can come through it. But I do agree, we need to see more from him.
I worry about just the lack of, what's the word? There's just no oomph about us, is there? Like today,
ran out of ideas.
Yeah, totally ran out of ideas, and I think when you just want them to take risks, we were talking about this after Port Vale last week. Take risks, shoot. Just have a go.
Xhaka had in the first half, he went up and he crossed it rather than take a shot.
Yeah.
Is that when Talby took a touch?
Yeah. But Xhaka should have shot.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
But even so, I think there's two reasons to be annoyed there. Xhaka should have shot, but he plays it to Talby. Talby's first touch is decent. Then he takes another touch. Just get a shot away. There's a real... we were talking about this through the week about Port Vale. There just seems to be this lack of... I don't know what it is, but you just want them to just somebody to go, I'm just going to shoot.
I think we had a level of fearlessness earlier in the season. And that's one of the best things about having a young squad. A lot of the time they can be naive, and it actually works for you because they're willing to take these risks. And strangely, I think recently that's vanished from the team, the way we play.
When he was on the other week, he was playing with a level of fearlessness. And obviously he went off injured, but since then there's just... I'm not saying he was good, but at least he's doing something, you know?
It's mad though talking about the fearlessness because in reality, the last 2 league games getting the 4 points have cemented us staying up. And at no point did I think we were going down. But like mathematically, so to speak. So you're thinking now, like 40,000 at home, sun's out, just go for it. Like get in people's faces, go 10 yards up the pitch, get another striker on, and we played like we were like fighting for something, and we're not.
Do you not think that's a lack of confidence, maybe?
Well, I don't know. I just going back to DR, and I'm not digging him out, but like I don't know if like we're playing him as a 10, and
well, he was on the right wing at times. He was hugging the touchline.
It's for me looking at it as it is, and you can obviously improve or get better or grow into it. It looks like it should be Siddiqui or Diarra, Xhaka and Lafay. And I know Lafay's not playing, so it's kind of moot. And I'm going all over the place, but Rig was great today. I thought Rig played really well. And for me, with how good Rig was playing and influencing the game, I'd have swapped him and Diarra. I'd have put him in the middle because Rig was getting on it. He looked confident. He was one of the only players, Rig, who looked like he was playing with a bit of confidence and he wasn't terrified and passing it back all the time.
Can I just question something? So I saw Isidore warm up. But then he
did warm up.
Yeah. And what's that about?
We were talking about that coming out of the ground. I think, well, it is damning. And if you think about Port Vale, what did he get 2-3 minutes at Port Vale in injury time?
I think Isidore did come on quite early at Port Vale. In the second, I might be wrong, but it felt.
Tells you a lot about his
I mean, I might be wrong on that, but it is damning that he didn't get on the pitch. To be honest, I think. It is.
Cirkin comes on the left wing ahead of him. Do you know what I mean? It's an attacking option.
That's another thing, by the way. When Ballard goes down injured, I'm thinking, all right, get Cirkin on.
Yeah.
Shuffle it. Get Hume on the right. Trouter in the middle. Hume right back. Cirkin on just a bit of balance in the defence, and then that may help us from an attacking perspective. Instead, we bring on 09, who I actually think played really well when he came on. 09, but I'm just,
you got that wrong.
Yeah,
I thought we looked unbalanced, and I felt sorry for Cirkin. Because they were playing it out to him as if it was like a Talby or an Angulo or someone on the left wing.
Yeah.
And then, bless him, he's thinking, what the hell do you want?
It's really unfair to expect a full-back to take someone on like that.
Trying to take risks, but then every time he's playing it backwards, there was groans, and I felt like he set him up to fail a bit, Cirkin, and chucking him on there.
Shot clocks, big shots, upsets, aces. TGL playoffs are here. First, Atlanta Drive starts their repeat run against Los Angeles Golf Club. Then, Rory's Boston Common Golf and Tiger's Jupiter Links face off in their playoff debuts. Who will advance? Keep up. It's playoffs. Tune in Tuesday, March 17th at 6:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. only on ESPN and the ESPN app.
This episode is brought to you by Peloton. Welcome to your Peloton Pilates era. Trusted by over 2 million members, experienced instructors with true Pilates expertise, offering classes for every level. Choose from 10 to 45-minute sessions with little to no equipment. Anytime, anywhere. And with the cross-training swivel screen, you can move seamlessly from cardio to mat. Press Pilates. Small moves, big impact. Find out more at onepeloton.com/Pilates.
To me, it feels like they didn't have to play well to win today.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think Brighton just turned up. They were solid. They didn't create a huge amount, I wouldn't say. They weren't exactly peppering
out. They had that
goal.
spell at the start where they had 2 chances in about a minute. Other than that,
nah. Bypassed the field early on, say it was sorted out. But like you said, like they didn't play well, and when we got a win at Leeds, it felt like we had to like fight for every ball, dig in. I don't even feel like Brighton had to do that today.
And it was the same with Port Vale last week.
Yeah. Oh, I'd rather not speak about that if that's how.
But it's
I'm still going through therapy for that Port Vale game.
Thing is, though, it's relevant because we're thinking about recent performances when we're going to next week. Like, as much as we like pretend it's not a massive deal, like I just think we didn't want to go into the Mags game having lost. I would have happily took a point today And
just crap performance, move on, you got a point. But it's like, it's a thing now because they put pressure on this game because of the Port Vale performance. And this is the reaction. And it wasn't great.
the reaction? Yeah.
So now you're going
I
into
will
the
say,
hardest game to
when
see.
we have things to play for, we are always better. And next weekend,
Yeah, I don't think we'll play like that.
I'm
next week.
expecting a response next
But I'm
weekend.
terrified.
Oh, same. Absolutely same.
I would be if we were top of the league, by the way.
Yeah.
I think generally though, Sunderland, when we play Newcastle, we've been in some pretty dire situations in the past, and then we pulled it out. And that's the only thing giving me hope.
Yeah.
But like, I would much rather have gone in this game with just a bit of like confidence off the back of this.
Naughty back will have.
Hopefully.
Who else? Roofs, yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. I mean,
Can all those players just come straight back in though?
well, that's the thing, because
he did today, mind, and he looked all right.
yeah, but I mean, even Shaka looks like he's not right.
Like, if you took 3 or 4 of them in who haven't played, the mags will be all over that like a rash. You know what I mean? Closing them down, testing them. They have not played a game for 4
I
weeks.
think it says a lot that we're studying like half an hour after full time, and we're already looking ahead though. Like I wonder how much the players were like that as well. Because I remember last time we played Newcastle, we went in that game remember we played Man City away, and Shaka and Siddiqui basically just tried not to get booked because they would have been banned.
When they got subbed, it was celebrating.
Yeah, and as soon as they were subbed off, it was like, whoo,
The away went up.
That's really celebrating when they went off. More like a goal, like you say. So.
And all the man chants came out.
It's almost like that was really disappointing, but I feel like we've got to try and somehow turn our attention to next week. Look, you know what it is? We've been quite negative, yeah, and understandably so. We just got beat, but I don't think we were terrible today. I think we played all right at times. I think we were probably the more positive team, which you'd expect me in the home side. Like Brighton were happy to just come here and they would have been over the moon with a point. They managed to get a win. The dug in, you know. Yeah. It was for that. To be honest, their form prior to the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks has been pretty.
I saw they won 2-0 away to Brentford, didn't they, a couple of weeks ago? And I thought, that's not ideal. They're starting to pick up a little bit.
Yeah,
It's so random though when you think of it like that. Like Brighton and Fulham, I don't think I ever see them win, but they're always just 11th. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
and that's what maybe we're looking to be. Do you know what I mean?
I almost think we are in that cabal of teams where we're not too consistent, but we pick up enough results, and fingers crossed we're not going to be in that relegation conversation
not a bad
at all.
place to be at all, mate.
This thing, like, we have to remember where we've come from.
Exactly.
Like, and I think our fans really need to work on that. As in the reaction to a defeat or anything, it's like the worst thing in the world that's happened, and you just like relax, guys. It's okay. We're gonna stay up.
We don't want to be
already.
We don't have to play with them. Everything's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
We don't want to be victims of our own success, where we've had such a strong first half of the season, and we don't want to be putting unnecessary pressure on the players. But we do need to see something next weekend, because the rest of the season after that, if we don't turn up next week and it goes badly, and the rest of the games, there might be a bit of a flat atmosphere, might not feel like there's anything really to play for, and you don't want that leading into the summer. So hopefully we can channel that spirit that we had in the playoffs last season, where we turned it up and no one expected it. And the Mags, they've got a few games as well before then. They've got the second leg against Barcelona, as they'll obviously fucking be reminding us about. Hopefully that's a really tough, grueling 120 minutes for them. They get knocked out. They're all feeling depressed. And we can go there and do a number on them.
Well, that's it. We've got to just try and put this one behind us quickly, because as much as, I feel every defeat, and I do, and we all do, the next game's now the most important one. That one's out of the way now. We can't do anything about Brighton. We're not playing at home next week. Might actually suit us a little bit, because prior to this game, we got 4 points on the road. So, I mentioned it before, and I don't want to, I'm not blaming the fans necessarily, but the atmosphere has been shite for months here. And, a lot of people weren't there till the end today, and I just think maybe it'll suit us playing away.
I would actually agree with that. I think, strangely, the home record that we had for so long, now that that's gone, even though it left in a game against Liverpool where we did okay. I think Liverpool were really good that day. I think now that that's gone, the stadium, it doesn't have that same aura about it, where we feel like this is our ground. We're going to defend it to the end, and that's been lacking a little bit. I will say from the away point of view, The Bournemouth and Leeds game, those were two brilliant away ends. And it was two games where there wasn't a lot of optimism going into it, but the fans really got behind them. And obviously, we'll be up in the gods next week. We're going to need everyone who's going to really get behind them. And I'm confident that the fans will turn up for that one.
Go on, Sam. You can have the final word since you seem you just took the biggest sigh ever.
Every time someone says next week, I'm like, oh, fucking hell, next week. So just fuck the Mags.
Yeah, fuck the Mags. That's a good way to end it, I think. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been lovely. Yes.
Cheers, Gav. Been good chatting in person after all these times of listening to the pod. And hopefully we've got something more cheerful to talk about next time.
Yes, and hopefully, Ben, when you do your next away day guide on the website, it's are you going to Mags next week?
I'm very gutted, but I'm not going to make that one. I'd agreed to go away with my partner. She always goes to Poland every year around the end of March for her grandmother's birthday, and I agreed to that before the fixtures came out. So I couldn't really pull that one around.
To be honest, it might be a good thing you're not there, mate.
You are right. We're going on a tour of some mines, so I'm going to be quite deep underground while the game's going on. So that might be the best place to be.
Yes,
my dad has genuinely booked a holiday so he doesn't have to watch it. And he went, I'm going to go to the local bar, and if I see any Mags, I'm just going to leave. And I was like,
he's going to chin them there.
No. Well, it depends how many he's had, like.
Chin them, then leave.
That's not yet in that order.
Right, thanks everyone. We'll be back tomorrow with a more in-depth look at the game. We will be joined by Jason Jones of the Sun and Echo. I won't be on that one. I'm going back over the town now. Planning on getting mortal because I need to after that. So thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.